how good does a man have to be to like that not be a deal breaker?
Well, you're asking the wrong people.
Wanted to make sure I didn't know if y'all had like a flow y'all get into. That's
No. Imagine if we made our guests stay completely quiet while
Yeah.
we talked about our days.
And guess when we feel ready for them to start speaking?
Yeah.
No, I'm not in my flow yet. Can look
there.
at me. Do I look like I'm in my flow?
Real talk. You don't feel it? Come on, man. It's different, man. I'm not in that zone.
Yeah.
I've been on pods where like they were like, all right, so thank you for being on the show. Before we start, we're gonna talk for like 20, 30 minutes. Then we're gonna introduce you. I'm like, I could have just showed up later.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
sit there silently for 20 minutes.
Sit there like watching them on TV for a while.
Yeah.
It's weird. And like, I don't know what to do. Like, can I laugh? Like, do you not want me to like mess
can I
up
pay
the
my
audio?
bills while you guys are talking?
Yeah, I know.
Real
Can
talk.
I fold
work
my
to do.
laundry? That's what I normally do when I listen to a pod.
Yeah. You're like reading a book.
Yeah.
No, I'm
And so
good. I'm
like on audio, it sounds like fine. But then if you like watch the video version of it, you're just reading a book silently for half an hour while they're chatting.
That's so funny.
And you're like, oh, it's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're
And
like
then I
laughing
look
every
like
so
the jerk
often.
on the video. They're like,
Yeah.
yo, why is this guy being a dick? He just showed
Yeah.
up to just not take
That's
part
so
in the show.
weird.
Yeah.
And then are you supposed to know what they talked about during that time?
It's them catching up. I've done this. I would say this has happened. I could think of at least 2 times where it was a 10-minute intro or more.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Just making somebody sit there and like watch you.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Straight
That's
up.
so
Just
terrible.
record it
I feel
after.
seen.
That's
Thank
what
you.
we would
Sincerely.
do, right?
Wait, what?
Record it after or before they arrive.
Yeah, record the intro like at a separate time.
Yeah.
Rather than making somebody be quiet.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
It's weird.
I don't know.
Remnants of like live radio, I'm assuming. That's all I could think of.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
that makes
totally.
sense.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was definitely a thing
Yeah.
where people just had to be like silent in the.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still on your side.
Appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Fuck them.
Amen. You know?
We did a show last week together, the brunch show at the stand.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
Yes, we did.
yeah.
You saw my fam come in.
I saw your
You know what I
family.
mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
They're all so
nice.
cute.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're like awkward teens and the missus.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
a good time.
How old
We
are your
were a-
kids?
They are now 14 and 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, what fun ages.
Straight up, they're dope. Honestly, I'm
Are they
enjoying
like are they like getting mad at you and shit, or are they still like cool?
it. I don't know. My wife might say something different. I'm having a blast with them.
Oh, okay,
like,
yeah, that's
I
fair.
have no issues at all. Like
Yeah.
my daughter and I kick it all the time. Like I would no diss to my homies, but she might be my best friend right now. Like she's
Oh,
dope.
Oh my god.
Right
that's
now?
So
Yeah,
sweet.
like real talk. I know I'm
Better
gonna
keep
lose
it
it.
up.
Yeah.
Real talk. Like I know,
Unless something happens.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
changes.
but straight up, like I love, like I geek out over art with her. Like we talk about, like
Aw.
she's really into animation and pictures. So like we'll watch stuff and like there's like a cartoon she's really into. So she'll talk to me about why the artist's work is impressive, and I'll be like, oh, I love the writing on this, and like we could kind of connect.
Cool.
That's so
We'll tease
sick.
her
What's the
mom about
cartoon?
like some Big Bang Theory joke that
Oh,
like
yeah.
she laughed at that we don't think is good, you know. I'm blanking on the name, but it is it's on Amazon Prime.
Uh-huh.
It's a show about they're starting a hotel in hell with the goal
Oh.
of renovating people. Like they're like trying to like fix people.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard of this. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forget what
I
it's
also
called.
forget the name.
Yeah, it's trippy and like the characters are like very like adult themed and like
Mm-hmm.
but like she's 15 and she came up to me, she's like, hey dad, like this is an adult show, but the artist is a YouTuber and I'm a big fan of their work. They got this pilot picked up. I love their animation. Can I watch this?
Cool.
So like I appreciated she was straight up about it. I
Yeah.
was like, yo,
Yeah.
listen, I'm gonna be real with you. You can watch it even without asking me. Like I can't stop you from watching this
Yeah.
stuff. Thank you for telling me. Watch whatever you want to watch this. If you got questions, be real and talk to us about it.
Yeah.
And like she'll wake me up and like we'll watch it before her mom wakes up. She ain't really into the animated jokes. But
Big Bang jokes only.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's like, yo, like this ain't trash enough. I don't hear the laugh track, you know.
Dude, all of the Big Bang Theory is like the guys being like, you don't know anything about Batman, and then
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
lady's like, I have big boobs, and then everybody laughs.
Yeah, yo,
Yeah. I wear yellow. I'm bright and happy, and you guys are weird.
Yeah.
Thank you. I say this very loudly. You know, it is that I'm so happy the show is done because it was the only
Yeah.
thing that like brought tension to my marriage. But I was like,
But
yo,
did she get into young Sheldon?
not enough that like I would have. I think it's a better show, still bad.
Yeah.
But she thankfully didn't get into it enough that it would have been like a problem.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I explained the whole issue from the jump too. I was like, this whole character on Big Bang Theory goes through a character growth. We see him change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then young Sheldon undoes all that. You know what I mean? Like it defeats the whole purpose of, because you're going to watch a young character go through the growth. So then by that token, Big Bang Theory shouldn't be this version of Sheldon.
No, totally. Yeah. Because it's like, if
that
you were
doesn't make any
gonna
sense.
if you were gonna make it consistent, then the growth that young Sheldon went through has to end where Big Sheldon started. And that's like a much less like fun thing to watch, is to watch like somebody be like really terrible and then be a little bit terrible and then go from being a little bit terrible to like a nice guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Man.
You know?
I love the idea that like if you guys were in couples counseling, every single session is about the Big Bang Theory.
That's all it is. Straight
And
up.
you're there, she's like, use your tools. And you're like, well, I just feel like all the young Sheldon jokes are the same.
Like every character could have made that joke. That's terrible writing.
Yeah.
There's no perspective.
Yeah. I
Every
just feel
single
like you have
argument.
terrible taste when you laugh at the Big Bang Theory jokes.
Seriously. You know, you know, I do this, right? Like, this is my job. When you laugh at this, it hurts.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, welcome to Worthless Clowns.
Welcome to Worthless
It's a
Clowns.
podcast about how stupid we all are. I'm Brittany Cardwell, Bertonis Cardwell on Instagram.
And I'm Allie O'Neill. You can follow me on Instagram at Allie O'Neill. It's Allie O'Neill. Sorry. Fuck. Anyway, we have a special guest today who hates young Sheldon. Everybody give it up for Gastor Almonte.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate y'all. Thanks
Where
for
can they
having-
follow you?
Gastor Almonte on every social media. I've
Nice.
been pretty good about being consistent with that, and also I have no competition.
Yeah.
That's
So,
true.
Yeah.
That's
Real
pretty
talk.
sick.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
me and my dad. He's not big on, the socials. You know?
Yeah.
Real
You're
talk.
named after your dad?
Yeah, I'm a junior.
Cool. I'm
yeah.
a junior too.
Real talk?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Gang,
She's
gang.
also named
My
after her
dad's
dad.
name is Britt.
Yo, that's fire. That's so fire.
Britt Junior. Did we figure that out before? That I'm a Britt Junior?
Yeah, we've talked about that. You're
I
a
never
junior.
thought about the junior part, but I
Yeah.
guess I did. I don't
Do
know.
you have the junior in your name too?
no.
That would have been fire,
That
yo.
would've been so
I'm Britt
funny.
too.
Yo.
Also, the fact that she's named after her dad and she has two brothers.
Yeah.
That's
I'm the one
sweet,
named
yo.
after my dad.
Are they older?
I have an older and a younger brother.
Yo, my
Yeah.
man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Real talk, I'm like your baby era must have been like peak, like real talk, like because you know what that's like the first your brother came out, he was like, nah, not this
Not
one.
this one.
Real talk,
Nope.
you dropped, he was like, you know what? I know this ain't tradition, but I see something special here.
Yeah.
Real talk, yo, that's beautiful.
Thanks.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know
so
what they
funny.
named my brother after. His name's Drew. They almost named him after a baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
Who I can't remember. I don't know. So he almost got something big, but yeah, maybe wrong energy when he came out.
Telling you see
Can't be a
it.
junior, can't be a baseball player.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
He's a Drew. Well, thanks
Yeah,
for doing
eat
the
that.
pod.
I'm excited. Real
Yeah,
talk.
we've been wanting to have you on for so long.
Thank you. Real talk. I
Yeah.
love rocking with you. Sincerely, think you're one of the funniest people in the city.
Oh,
real shit.
what?
Amen.
Clip
Amen.
it. Clip
Real
it
talk.
up.
Yeah, so I've gotten a few things. One, there's a lot of dope stand-ups in New York, but if I see you do a bad set, I don't dap you up after the set. That's just the rule
Mhm.
I have.
That's fair.
So like, I want you to, like I feel like it's like you got to punish your kids sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
hey, listen, you know what I
I
mean?
was just
Hey,
going to
listen.
say, you don't tell a kid it's fine when it wasn't.
Totally.
So yeah, I
and
find
there's
that
some people who do have to know that they had a bad
they had
set.
a bad set. You own it. Real talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find that I consistently have to dap you up after a set. I was like, yeah, that was dope.
Oh,
Respect.
man, thank you.
Amen.
Yeah. I thought you were about to say you're the one person I do it for because I don't think you
Yo.
can handle the
Real talk.
pain.
I just really
The
care about
social
you as a
pain.
person.
Yeah.
You know.
I want to protect you.
Real talk, man.
I want to protect you from the reality of the world. That's what I'm doing.
It's a tough place out there, you know.
Well, I feel like you've only seen. I think you've missed a lot of bad sets. Then
Hey.
you should have seen me last night.
We all got them.
Dude, last night was that was a
It was a very
It was
bad
a
show.
bad show, though.
We won't say whose it was.
yeah,
It
was just
happens
bad.
though.
but it was outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of
Um,
those shows too where when you show up, you're like, okay, I know what it's gonna be like.
No, totally.
So it was like, didn't bother me a lot, but I was like, yeah, this wasn't fun.
It was a lot of like the audience, in the audience is like young bushwicky people.
And super high.
And and they're all high. And so it's like some people are just like too cool to like laugh at jokes sometimes. And I'm like, why the fuck did you come to a comedy show? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I've gotten a few places with that. One, like I enjoy the challenge of trying to figure it out, even if I can't.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But like, all right, this is a fun little exercise for today.
Yeah.
But two, like I've been doing stand-up just long enough now where like I don't necessarily value the skill that I'm developing if this show goes bad. Like if everything goes well for me and continues to go well, it has, thankfully. But like if it continues to go well, I don't want to be really good at performing for 3 people in Bushwick outside.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, I should
yeah.
never have to do this ever again.
I'm the best at tiny rooms.
Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, you got me. You know what I mean? I suck in this specific environment. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, like cool. And no one will ever know again. But
if you get good at it, that means that you've done it a million fucking
Yeah.
times, which is also a bad sign.
right.
Which is also sometimes, when there's like a comic where you can tell they're good at mics. Like they're a good mic guy, but then in a show they're not really.
Yeah.
It's similar. Like you're only doing mics then.
No, totally.
And you figured out the mic room.
Yeah.
It's a different skill. So I'm like, yo, like that's cool, but like I just don't aspire to do this. So like, and the things that like it does add to your game, I think they're important for like, years 1 through 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'll show up to a show and like if I feel like I'm not gonna get something from it here or from like, or I don't really need to hear these words out loud today.
Yeah.
I'll just be like, yo, you know what? This ain't for me.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
I'm completely fine with like, yo, y'all have fun today, but like, if I do this set, it ain't gonna bring me joy and it ain't gonna help me develop.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So like
That's
have fun.
amazing.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like it's peace.
I gotta get there, or I can just be like,
too.
I'm here and I'm leaving.
Yo, all the time. It does help that I drive, admittedly, because this is like a quick. I do know, like, yo, if you take 2 trains, like, I'm doing a set. Like, I'm here. You know what I mean?
I'm doing the worst set of my life because it took me fucking 45 minutes to get here. I'm not wasting this.
Yeah, yo.
I'm gonna say for at least as long.
Down further.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay as long as it takes me to finish this beer that I got from the drink ticket. So I'm not getting fucking paid. So I'm getting my money's worth out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I leave those right there. Like I'm good. I've done it. I did a show in the city where like there was a relatively big comic on the show, and after they did their set, everyone bounced. So it was like 7 people left in the room. Yeah. And like the host came up to me and was like, hey, like you still want? I was like, nah, not at all. I'm fine.
Hell yeah.
I mean, real talk. You want to do extra time? Knock yourself out of your show.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not gonna become a better comic tonight.
Yeah,
from doing
by
this
doing
set.
this, totally.
I was like, I'll even argue the opposite. This might hurt my emotional space for the
Yeah.
sets I got to do the rest of this week.
Dude, totally. Yeah, sometimes having like a bad set is so fucking demoralizing.
Yeah.
Like if I not every time. Sometimes I'll have a bad set and I'll fucking feel fine about it. But like if I'm just like in a mood and I have a set that goes so fucking poorly, I'm like, I was never funny.
Yeah, never
I'm
funny.
bad at this.
Why am I doing this?
I should move out of the city. I'm gonna start homesteading or something. I have to get the fuck. I'm gonna get like 15 dogs and just do
My
that.
dad was right. I should have been a dentist.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Every bad set, I go home and look up coding camps. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, yo. I could turn it around, Still salvage a life out of this,
That's so funny. You go home, you're depressed, and you're like, if, then, one.
Yeah.
You're in your HTML.
Oh, man. It hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you got a stupid story for us? We're ready for this?
So I'll tell you, so this past week, it was for 3 weeks. I was on jury duty.
Oh, yeah. You
Oh my
mentioned
God.
that. Yeah.
I have always wanted to be on jury duty.
I think
It is
it'd be fun.
amazing.
But
you gotta do
they
it.
would never put me on a jury.
Why do you say that?
Well, first of all, this is not that big of a deal, but I went to school for political science,
Oh,
Okay.
like politics and law. So that's like kind of no. And then also,
You wear Rage Against the Machine t-shirts.
that's right.
Can't
I
do
have
that.
nuns with guns holding them.
Yeah.
And I wear that all the
it's
time.
on right now.
Yes.
I didn't even know it was this one.
It's
well,
my
it's
uniform.
like half of them, so.
Yeah. And then also they ask you, they're like, has anybody in your family been the victim of a crime or the perpetrator of a crime? And I have both very close to me.
Right.
And so like my brother's a felon and my uncle was murdered. So I don't think they would ever put me on a jury because I have too much because like they want
There's, like too much bias.
Yeah, they want people who like have
Like
never
personal
experienced that kind of and don't have like preconceived notions about it,
Yeah.
especially if it's like related to the crimes that
Yeah.
like people in your family like committed or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I would
Yeah.
never ever be put on a jury,
Mhm.
but I've been called a few times.
Oh, really?
And
I've never been asked to do it,
really.
but I was out of the country for a long time.
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah, you were in
I
New
think I
Zealand for
missed
that
a
one.
lot of opportunities, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel
Totally.
like I should have gotten it now. I've been here.
Yeah.
I've been here for 6 years.
Yeah, it's
So-
it's like about 8 years in New York.
Yeah.
They're supposed to go every 8.
Yeah.
Huh.
But
Anyway,
anyway.
so
Real talk, like you might be committing a crime right now.
yeah, maybe they're like, she's been up to stuff. Don't contact her. Or yeah, maybe I'm missing it and ignoring it. Maybe that's all the calls I have on my phone that I don't answer.
Real
Yeah,
talk,
yeah,
yo.
Yeah. They're
Might
like,
be spam. It's like not
Yeah.
spam. It's
Yeah.
the U.S. government trying to get you to come in for jury duty.
Yeah.
You know what I
Brittany's
mean?
on FBI's most wanted list, like avoiding jury duty for
And I'm just
years.
going, whoopsie.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
My bad.
Dude, Brittany accidentally committing a felony is so funny.
It would happen.
That's
That's
so
That's
how
all
it would
funny. I
happen.
kind of like that.
Yeah. So anyway,
Anyway,
the
you
trial.
were on jury duty for 3 weeks.
Yeah. So one of the jurors recognized me,
That's
oh,
pretty
shit.
sick.
which was pretty dope.
That's
pretty
and,
cool.
like
Because that's nice anytime it happens.
yeah, I'll take it. Real talk.
Yeah.
It was dope.
And now you
And
get
then
to
you show up
hang.
and you're like, listen, I'm just like everybody here.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else. I got to do jury duty, you know?
You know what I mean?
I'm just
out
a
here
regular guy.
living my life, you know, trying my best, doing my civic duty. you know?
Yeah.
But like it, the judge and the lawyers knew because I didn't realize how much power we had.
They knew
as
that
jurors.
you're a comic.
Yeah, because like you mentioned up top, before like they select you, they ask you if you have any issues with the case. I was like, nah, I'm good. And then they ask you if there's any issues you have with the scheduling. And I said, I can't come in Friday. I'm headlining in Rhode Island.
Hell yeah.
And they're like you. I'm like, what do you mean? Like I'm doing comedy, and this is how I make my living. So I was like,
There are tickets out.
yeah, I was like, I've been
Yeah.
promoting the show.
Yeah.
Like, yo, like this is a disproportionate amount of my month's income. So yeah,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
this guy's like, it's a felony charge, but like we're not meeting Friday if I'm a part of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I thought, like for sure, I was like, oh, I'm not on this jury. And
Yeah.
he just took the
Yeah.
note down, and he brought me back in later. He's like, yeah, nah, we like you. You in? And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. And
I
that-
mean, it's the defense and the prosecution who picks jurors. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot about this because I
Yeah.
went to school for it. But
straight up.
so it's like if they're like, if the defense or the prosecution is like, oh, this guy will give us probably based on like what we know about him, like the fucking outcome we want, then we'll take him.
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
know?
they're like, yo, they both felt and like the judge talks to you directly, like each potential juror, but then the lawyers each talk to each group. So it was like after the initial like 300 people show up, 80 of us got called in.
Yeah.
Then they narrow it down to like 18, and then of those 18, 3 of us got picked to be part of the 12th.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it was like a real process of
Wow,
like
yeah.
2 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, like when I'm part of that like final like 18 before I got selected, and they like the prosecutor and the defense are each like interviewing the whole group, they like drilled me a lot about that. They're like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah.
what's your history? What's your day job like? Do you know any of this? What do you do for fun? And I was like, I tell jokes, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like, I thought everything I said sounded ridiculous, but it got me in.
Yeah.
It's just
You know
like
what I
they
mean?
both sides wanted you.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
makes me wonder, what was it about both sides that they're like, this guy's going to be good for us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm
You
saying.
know?
I was trying to analyze my answers after. I was like, I don't know what I said. That like
Yeah.
they would be like, yeah, he'll get what we're trying to do
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Bananas to me.
I know you can't tell us anything about the case, but was there anything about the case where you're like, that's why they want me?
I don't know. It's in Brooklyn. That's all. That's the only thing I felt correlated. But I feel like that's
Yeah.
the rule. They're
Yeah.
all from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Like every
Yeah.
that's the whole by your peers thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing about the case felt like it was like, oh yeah, he's an expert in this. But yeah, I got.
It was like a stand-up comic who got assaulted on stage.
look at him. See what
Yeah.
he says.
They're like, this guy has
stand-up
expertise.
comic
Yeah.
who shot someone on a train, and he's been at large, and now they got it.
Real talk. That guy's a friend of mine.
Yeah, I used to date that guy.
That's impressive. Really?
Yeah.
That's what's up. Real talk. Fun fact, he's the one that told me about the coding classes.
Really?
Real talk.
yeah?
That's so funny that he would
That's
get
what he's
into
up to
coding.
now, I
He
guess.
was really into coding. I remember he said like a friend of his did it. And he like gave me a bunch of websites about coding.
Huh.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
At the time, my kid was like 12 at the time when I first like bumped into him, and I gave all of that to him. That's the main reason I haven't gotten into coding, because my son's ahead of me now.
Yeah.
But it's because of that guy's advice.
Yeah.
Straight up. But yeah, like the word got out that I was a comic, and like I felt like a weird pressure because like people could look me up and like, you know, like know who I am, and like I'm exhausted from being a comic. So I could not stay awake.
Oh yeah.
At all. Like from 9:30 till like they would take like a break at like 1. Yeah. That first half was the worst every day. I couldn't do it. Like and like every tool that I have at my disposal to refresh at home, I don't have here. I can't take a nap. I can't stand up. I can't like stretch. You know, it just looks weird.
You can't like move around, reset, do your shit, have like a little snack.
Turn on some music. Yeah. Like, you know, none of the things that like I would do at home. So like the first 3 hours of every court case, of your court date was like me like literally begging the two ladies, jurors 12 and 10, wherever y'all at, thank you. They kept me awake. They would just tap me the whole time. Oh my God. Straight up. So nice. Like
that's so nice of them.
Straight up, they're like, yo, you out. Like and like it just became a thing that like I was just constantly falling asleep the first half. And everyone knew it. Like the judge, everyone just knows I pass out during this thing. And everyone, I told everybody, yo, my man, like my whole life is set up for me to sleep during the hours that you are functioning. Like I'm not up at this time. I literally go to bed every day at 7:30. I wake up at 3:30. I see my kids, and then I go do stand up. So like this is bizarro world for me. I can't do this. So the afternoon would be fine because it was closer to my normal hours. I would go out for an hour, get some sunlight. I was like, I'm good. Second half, I was the best juror. But like the mornings was rough. So like I'm trying my best to focus, but the worst of it was they step out whenever they do like a sidebar kind of thing. They like literally leave the courthouse and talk. So every time they stepped out, I would close my eyes. I was like, this is my time. I could nap.
You got a power nap in.
I could do it. Yo, so I power nap every time they did this. And there was one day they did it like 4 times in a row. So I'm just constantly like, yes, cool.
That's so funny.
Yo, so I'm knocking out instantly, and like they make just enough noise that when they walk in, I would wake up. Apparently, I didn't do that for the last one. So like,
and where were your ladies?
Yo, they tapped me too late. I snored. I snored so loud.
You got deep into sleep.
Straight up, I was deep in REM.
Man, the rest of the jury must have just loved this. Like you're like the guy they went home and laughed about every day.
You know, and like so I feel terrible. I'm like, yo, he's a comedian, you know. So like, I don't know if he was trying to be funny. Nah,
like,
I was
is this
exhausted.
what he's like on stage?
And I felt so bad because like I was advocating, like I genuinely like believe in the civic process. And the whole thing like genuinely made me even more of a fan of it. Like I was like, oh, this is dope. They take it very serious, the selection process. I was excited because like I always think about like if you're on trial, everyone that I know that's competent does everything possible to get out of being in the jury. So I was like, that's messed up. Like if that ever happened to me, that I would want people that actually would like want to do the right thing, care, and are like intelligent and able to handle that. So I was like, nah, I'm doing the right thing by doing this. I was doing the wrong thing. I was too tired to pay attention to this case. You know what I mean?
You're like, I'm going to show up. I'm going to listen. I'm going to do my civic duty. And then you're like,
yo, every day, knocked out hard.
You're like, I'm only competent between the hours of 6 p.m. and 7:30 a.m.
Yo, I work hard during that hour and a half, but that is it.
You're like, can this be night court, please?
Do you sleep talk? I would love it if you were sleep talking.
Yo, I sleep talk, but I didn't dare. But I snored very loud. Like I know, like everyone talked to me about it. They're like, "Yo, that was real." I was like, "I know, my wife tells me, but I didn't think I was gonna do it here." You know what I mean? And then like juror 10 was like, she's like, "I tapped you." I was like, "I'm sure you did," but like,
you're like, "I'm gonna need a little bit more than that."
I needed more snoring. And then like so, but like
they just start pouring waters on you.
So then like in the trial, like the assailant was asleep at one point during the whole like story of what happened, and like So they're
That's a
explaining.
bad look.
Yeah, so they're
That's
like
a bad look to like tell the story of the crime, and then the guy who's like, I didn't do it, or it wasn't that bad, is like so bored. It's
So-
like so rough. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yo, but like, so like they're telling us like, you know, that they had different witnesses come up. They're telling us what took place in the whole night. And like, I won't get into the specifics, but at certain portions, people were sleeping and like stuff happened while people were sleeping. So they're like, when we finally decide to like, we break off to decide, you know, what we're gonna, you know, decide guilty or innocent. Everyone's like, yo, you can sleep through that? I was like, yo, I don't know, but like I could sleep through a lot personally. Y'all saw. And they're like, yo, he drew, like there was DNA, he drooled on this. I was like, I drool all the time. You know what I mean? You so like I kept being like an actual case study for the other side. And I was like, to be clear, I don't necessarily agree. I'm just saying everything you're saying, I just did.
Yeah.
You know?
It's so funny.
Real talk, it was a very sobering process, but I think justice was served, you know, and I have a newfound respect for people that wake up at that time of day and function. I don't do it at all, but it was there's definitely like 11 people in Brooklyn that are like, yo, that comic has like sleep apnea.
Yeah.
You just start to notice like your followers go up a tiny bit, and now all your comments are about snoring and drooling.
Yeah.
This
You're
guy,
like, it's strange.
not relevant to your set at all.
Strange. I got 11 new followers.
And they're all saying you snore, you drools.
Yeah.
Real talk, yo. We don't know if he's funny, but we're concerned. We're just here for him.
Dude, it'd be so funny if you walked into like court for the morning and then you like brought in your like CPAP machine.
Yo, you think I'm like, I thought about it. Like I looked, I was like, yo, like would this be weird? And I was like, I know it makes noises, but like it wouldn't make that
Just
noise.
a guy in the corner like whatever the sound is, it's like right?
Hey, man, it sound like the MTA bus.
Every
when it drops
intense
people
moment,
down.
they're hearing that.
Yeah.
Every good point made by the prosecutor, and then it's like,
Yeah. I think I would have preferred that to my snoring.
Yeah.
But straight up. And like when you snore sitting up and you snore when you know you're supposed to be awake, like you shock yourself a little bit. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
were you
So,
doing
like,
the head tilted back kind of
Nah,
snore?
I was forward. Like that's why I
okay.
was surprised I snored, because I usually don't snore when I lean forward. But I snored, and like I just, the main reason I knew I snored is because normally, like I said, 10 and 12 they would tap me, but like this time, all the jurors were looking at me when I woke up. I was like, oh, I did something wrong. Like I'm not the case, and everyone's like looking at me. So I was like, all right, it's a problem. But yeah, it was a rough day for me. The judge has like a secretary that sits with him the whole time, the whole case. I didn't know that was a thing, but like she kept like side-eyeing me the rest of the week. Like she was not happy with me as a person. But
Also, like,
what about those drawings they do? Are you drawn just with your eyes closed?
And that was so like they were showing. They were
She really
showing
gets
like
the drool detailed in there.
they had like footage. So like every time they show the footage, they cut the lights off. I'm like, yo, y'all killing me here. Be like, let's do this in the afternoon. You know what I mean? Like you can't turn off the lights for like 10 minutes and tell me to stay awake. Like this is hard.
yeah, like you might as well give me a blanket and put on Enya if you're gonna fucking do this shit. Don't turn the lights off. Are you fucking kidding me?
Real talk. And like I know, and like it got to a point to where I would just be looking, and they wouldn't look back. But like I wanted to find, like look at the lawyers. I was like, yo, I know y'all see me. I know y'all know I'm struggling. Like cater your case to that. Like you're trying to convince us. So like I need to be awake to be convinced at least. But when we finally got all together, it was fun like rehearing the case again. Now that I was awake, I was like, all right, cool. Like I missed that part. I gotta see that.
The prosecutor also is like, they're like starting to change up their style to include a lot of like noises.
Yeah, yo.
They're like stomping and stuff.
Straight up, she a step squad
Everyone's
out
looking
there.
around like, what's going on with this guy? He doesn't really usually deliver the facts like this. He's just like clapping whenever he can.
Just clapping and screaming.
The act outs just get like insane.
He just
all
like
for Gastor.
he talks like you know how like people who are YouTubers, but like their audience is children,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey guys, I'm here right now, and it's thanks for tuning in." They're like, "Anyway, the knife was 8 inches long, and we found it in his car later that night."
For the like getting the attention.
Yeah, just like talking like that to keep Gastor awake.
Yo, there was a young juror that he like came up to me like at the end. He's like, "Yo, man, like I was falling asleep too, but nobody focused on me. They were looking at you when you snored, so thank you."
Yeah, I know. It took some heat off of him.
I'm glad I could take the pressure off of you, bro. But yeah, man. But like 3 people coming to the show. I was like, "Yo, I'm wide awake for those. Come out and they coming through."
Of course.
So yeah,
yeah. That's like
that's nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the jurors came out.
Yeah, jurors. They're peoples. They dope. Like
my
they're
God,
like,
that's
yeah, we'll come
awesome.
through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They showed love.
Yeah, and they're like, "God, it's so nice to see you awake. You're like a whole different guy."
Look at you. You're like you're full of energy. Like, yeah, yo, these are my hours.
Yeah.
Did you get
know?
some good riffs in during the deliberation?
Yeah, straight up. I felt like I got some good jokes. I was testing them out. I was like, I have to try this later tonight.
Yeah.
But it worked in the room. This is dope.
Yeah, you're like workshopping
Yeah.
like your bits that you're gonna do at a show later.
It was a fun room.
Also, it's like bits in context like that can hit so hard because it's so serious. It's almost like anything off that you say will get a huge laugh.
Yeah.
And then it's not going to work in a comedy club. You know?
It's like
it
when you
might,
work in an
but-
office and
Yeah.
then people tell like the most hack joke imaginable and everybody loses their
Yeah,
minds.
they're like, oh my God. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And then they remember it for forever and they
Straight
bring
up.
it up repeatedly.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you guys
Christmas
wouldn't have
party.
laughed at
Yeah.
this like in your own home.
I know. Like there's like donuts and they're like, should I be bad?
Yeah.
And then everybody's like seizing on the floor,
It's so funny.
laughing at that shit. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That happens in these conferences too. I was just at like a work conference for like science stuff. And their talks are often pretty dry. Sometimes they're like a little bit more entertaining. But then if one person makes any little joke, the whole room like erupts. Yeah.
Dude, that's what it's like.
Like they'll just notice an error on their slide and they'll point it out and everyone's like, oh. They're like, we knew there was an error too. It's like when you point out that you said a word wrong on stage, it's like not really the joke, but it's like some like everybody's
in
like
on it,
Yeah.
so it feels real. Yeah.
We should
This
pivot
one
to
lady-
like doing all of our stand-up specials in front of like these environments.
Yeah.
It's just the extra laughs. I like it.
This one lady said bastard in her talk and everyone lost it.
Whoa.
I mean, it was weird for her to say it in this context,
It's also like
a
that's not like a normal swear, I feel like.
it's not.
You know what I mean? Like if she said like, look at this shit, like that would be different, but she in what context would you say bastard?
Yeah. I think
You
she
know
was
what I
talking
mean?
about a politician or something.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. I thought you said it was like science or something, no?
Yeah, but it's like psychology and behavioral
gotcha.
and social science. So there's like political stuff.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Okay. I was just trying to think like yo, this Adam, this bastard
this
Adam.
bastard.
Bastard Adam.
This bastard cell.
You know? Doesn't know any of his parents, none of his family.
RNA.
Yeah.
Or something.
No, but you talk about that reminds me like, so my dad's a pastor, and so like I watch him like do sermons all the time whenever I'm home and whenever I go to church, and like he also like will do one very mild joke, and then all the like old ladies at church will like lose their fucking minds, and I'm like, I'm in the back like, that wasn't that good. I get like tight about it. I'm like, you know, he's not that practiced.
My father-in-law is a deacon, and like,
yeah.
So and he's been doing it for like 25 years or so. So like, in our neighborhood, like he's the one with fans.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. I'm like, yo, like I've been on TV. He's like, nah, but you ain't Deacon Arturo though. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. We do family dinners, and he's the one that got just random people walking up to him. Like,
imagine that too. And they're all right outside because he's in his own neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So you walk out and you're truly famous.
Straight up, like he's like a thing in that hood. Like I was like, oh, this is like when we're married now, but like when we were dating, like people would like literally just walk up to us like, oh, you're Deacon Arturo's daughter. I was like, okay.
It's like you're in the gossip mags and everyone knows about the relationship.
Yeah.
Straight up. Yeah. Like a little like pressure, like, yo, there's people talking, you know?
Whoa. That must have
That's
been
crazy.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Survive.
Did anyone try and get in the way? Like,
No.
everyone knows?
Thankfully, I'm pretty well liked as well. But like the bar was high though, for sure.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, like like I was blown away at like people would have like curfew questions for us, like, yo, you out this late? And I'm like, we're like 24.
Yeah.
Like I think that's okay, you know?
Yeah.
They're They're like, you think her dad would be fine? I'm like, yes, I hope so. I mean, I don't know what to tell, like, I have a mortgage, so I think it's fine that, like,
you're like, what's the problem? It's 9:00. We're eating lasagna in an establishment.
Real talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know
Like,
the
is
crazy
everything okay over here?
Yeah.
It's also funny to be like, I love Jesus and I've accepted him into my life. And then for the next logical step to be like, 9 p.m. is too late to be out.
Yo.
What do those two things have to do with each other?
Yo,
you're out at 9 p.m.?
all the good Jesus stories. All of him is him turning up. Like,
that's right.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Every Jesus story I rock with is him turning up. Like, he's at the party. You think you turning water into wine in the afternoon? That's an evening activity.
Yeah.
Real talk. I was like, bro, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Nah, man.
Oh God. Should we get into our little post?
Let's do it.
We're gonna read a post from an internet user.
Okay.
Who we think did
internet
stupid.
users.
Yeah, you know about
people on the internet.
Are these like specific? Like are they followers, or should we send them a message?
No, maybe future followers.
Okay.
Well, we read posts off Reddit,
it's
and
just
sometimes
Reddit
we get
Gotcha.
sometimes we get people who write in and shit.
Yeah,
I do have to say, I've enjoyed seeing some of your YouTube comments. Like people like, they're pretty like fun. They're
lots
like
of feet comments.
Yeah,
show your feet.
Yeah,
get your feet in here, Gastor.
That's something I wanted to mention,
dude. That's why. This is me
your
keeping
dirty
people.
socks?
Yeah, they're so dirty. Sorry, everybody.
You don't know the envy I feel.
What do you mean?
The level of comfort the two of you have that, like,
oh really?
There's so much about this that, like, I can't experience. Like, as a big dude who wears like sneakers from like the mid-90s, like putting on my shoes so that they don't crease is a process.
Oh yeah.
Like just taking off my kicks and just having my socks out anywhere I go. That's I'll never know what that's like.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like once I put these on, they are on for the day. This is a decision. And like I don't want to come in blind. I saw a couple episodes and I'm like, yo,
shoes
the
off
freedom,
podcast.
the freedom,
I can't
like,
do this.
Real talk, man. I'm so jealous. Every episode, and like there were episodes where like I felt like I watched. It was the wrong 3 in a row for me because I was like, yo, like you're escalating the comfort. Like first you were like shoes off on the table. Then you was like crunched up on the sofa. I was like, I can't do none of this stuff. Real talk. I don't know how to fold my legs under myself anymore.
It's so funny. Like before you did the pod, you watched and got anxious about these things.
Yo, I was like,
no one else has ever come on the pod and they're like, I saw how you sat, and I was like, okay, I can sit like that. Yeah. I saw you had your shoes off. I'm like, all right, I can do that.
It's also so funny because like I am just very fidgety. I'm always like moving around and whatever. And like I will watch our pods back at like probably like double speed just because I'm like going through looking for edits and stuff. And as I'm watching it, I'm like constantly moving. I'm like shifting and like moving my legs. And Brittany's sitting there like a robot. And she's like this. She's like
I'm sitting here like my blood pressure is way too low.
Yeah, she's sitting here like she's like, this is what humans sit like. Like she's like frozen in time.
It does look like that.
And I'm over here and I'm like fucking climbing on the walls.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I like to get cozy so I can think.
Real talk. Yo, it was just me. Like I can't do none of those moves no more. These are every single position you did was like an exercise that like my doctor told me I should do in the morning. That's dope. Real talk. I'm so jealous. Can't do none of these. But respect.
Well, thanks for watching the pod. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
What were the comments you thought were funny?
There were a few. I liked the like a kind of snappy response one of y'all gave to somebody. Somebody was like, "Hey, great to see y'all back in the old space," and one of y'all was like, "Don't get used to it."
Oh yeah, that was me.
Like that cracked me up so hard. I was like, this is hysterical.
It's because like we released them in like a weird order,
right?
And there was like one,
and we moved. So it's the same people, but they moved in. I guess January.
Yeah. And so like there was one episode that was like the new space. And then we went back to the old space episodes, and then
we had a backlog.
So. Because we had a backlog, and then they were like, glad you're in the old space. And I'm like, all right, well, fucking.
People also cared more than I thought they would about us switching from space to space.
Yeah.
Of course.
They're like, wait, the background's different. Wait, they'll like comment on like things going
that
on.
Stuff matters.
Yeah.
They get invested. But I just thought it was like, yo, you checked them gangster. I was like, okay. There's someone invested in y'all, and she was like, nope, don't get used to that.
We get every so often we get a standard comment from a guy where it's like, 2 girls drinking beer and talking, no thanks.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
We had a comment on one of our clips on Instagram where somebody was like, "Oh, 2 4s."
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was like, I'm not going to take the opinion of 4s.
Of 2 4s. And I was like, fucking 4s, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, let's get into this.
All right, let's get into this post.
So as we read, you can just, chime in.
Let's do this.
This is a post from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for throwing away my boyfriend's potentially illegal yogurt collection?
Yogurt?
Yogurt.
Potentially illegal.
Yeah. I'm a 29-year-old female. My boyfriend is 30 male. We've been living together for 2 years in a little studio in a very expensive big city in the U.S.
I wonder what it is.
Yeah. Why didn't she just say? It's weird.
Know.
She's like hiding it.
Would that be what narrows it down?
I know, yeah.
She's like, nah, if I say what city, you won't know exactly who he is.
Also, if it's a big city, they're not going to find you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yo, imagine like having such a reputation that like, yo, if I say you like, yo, yeah, San Francisco, yeah, this guy is the guy with the yogurt.
Yeah.
That's
also,
wild.
This happens all the time where they'll like be so careful to not give it away, but then it's like there's only one guy doing this with the yogurt.
In the whole world,
and your friends know. Anyone who sees this is going to be like, that's Jim.
Yeah.
We know about the illegal yogurt.
It's Jim and his yogurt.
Yeah.
I've heard Nancy talk about it.
It's the only couple
so
that
long.
fights about yogurt.
Yeah.
Every couple has their thing. They got yogurt. You guys have Big Bang Theory.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
What are you and Dave fight about? That's ridiculous.
Oh, he always like is upset that there's a bunch of cans in my room.
Oh, yeah?
I drink a lot of LaCroix.
It's your room.
I know, and I leave it also like, but in his defense, it does get like a little ridiculous.
He's
sometimes.
a big guy. Does he knock him over all the time?
Yes.
It's loud and
yeah,
scary.
that's the problem.
Betty freaks out.
I have like
Her dog sees Betty.
yeah, and like there'll just be cans all over my room, and he'll be like, God, I love, and I'll be like, yeah. He'll be like, I love how many fucking cans are in here.
I love how the sun shines in and hits the cans and the light scatters across the wall.
He's like, I love when I wake up in the morning and then I stretch and then I punch a bunch of cans off of your nightstand. I love that I can't move.
You mentioned he's slightly bigger than you?
Oh, yeah. He's like
very
6'1".
tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a big guy.
You guys...
You know Dave Ross, probably.
Oh, rock on. Okay.
Yeah.
Shouts to Dave. Question then.
Mm-hmm.
What size mattress you guys have?
We don't live together.
Okay.
But I have a full-size mattress.
Perfect.
Which is crazy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it's small.
Yeah.
So when y'all spend the night, I got a queen. I'm bigger than Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But similar situation. My missus is little. I'm a big dude. It's an argument we've had before.
Mm-hmm.
Do you split the mattress 50-50?
Well, here's the thing. I don't need that much space. Like I also like curl up when I go to bed.
Right.
But I always wake up and he's like almost off the bed and I'm like in the middle of it. But it's not because I want more space.
Because you cuddled and then...
Yes, it's because I like move closer to him and then he moves away. Yeah. And he keeps doing that, and then he falls off the bed, and I'm like, "Fucking!" This and then he wakes up. He's
like, "You're selfish."
Yeah. And I'm like, if you just fucking snuggled with your girlfriend for once, you wouldn't be falling off the bed all the time. You know what I mean? I'm like, so fucking like, if you cuddled me and I had this much space, I'd be happy with it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
he could strategize with that.
No, totally.
My issue is I feel like my wife is confusing 50-50 with fair but equal. And I was like, yo, like, she's like, this is my half of the bed. I was like, I'm disproportionately bigger than you.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have 60% of the surface area.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
You know, I'm like, yo, like, you're like 120 pounds. I have 300 pounds. I mean, this is not an equal split.
Yeah.
In the spirit of being equal.
Yeah.
But
it's the difference between equality and equity.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So she's like, nah, it's down the middle. And like, so there was like a week where like we would like wake up to use the bathroom and like we each would take pictures of the other person of where they were. She's like, this is you. And I was like, this is you. You know what I mean?
That's so funny.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh man. But yeah.
Okay, so
Anyway, yogurt.
the yogurt problem. My boyfriend grew up rural.
Gotta tell you, the yogurt problem sounded smaller and smaller. I gotta tell you, like now that I'm analyzing my own issues.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like, I gotta get those pictures.
I think you guys
Real
have
talk.
fun fights.
Hey,
I
man,
like it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It keeps us young, you know?
Yeah. My boyfriend grew up rurally with lots of space, enough to collect all kinds of things. He collected action figures and video games and all the normal kid stuff when he was young. But he grew older and he became interested in more unusual things. As a teen, he had 8 guinea pigs of different types from different breeders.
That's too many animals. Too many fucking animals. That's
Since
crazy.
Tide Pods were released 7 years ago, he saved one of every kind of Tide Pod. He's saving them like he's collecting rocks.
Yeah. And it's just different
He's
kinds
like
of...
shining them. They're on his shelves.
Also,
Tide Pods.
she's calling this collecting. I would call this hoarding.
I think it's hoarding. Yeah. He's got a big box of international variety of electric insulators. Those ceramic hats that power lines wrap around on power poles. I can't even imagine
I don't even know what
is.
those are.
He's not a hoarder. She
Oh my God,
preempted it.
she heard me.
I'll say it early. He's not hoarding. He's usually neat, just used to having lots of space for his bizarro collections. At his parents' ranch, he had 2 big rooms full of containers of weird and impressive things.
Okay, that's hoarding. 2 rooms? That's crazy.
He recently became... Okay, so I think for it to become hoarding, it has to interfere with your ability to function. I would say it's probably...
You think that this guy's functioning well?
No,
Yeah.
I'm saying I think it's interfering with
Oh,
your
yeah, okay. I thought you were
functioning
defending him.
and your relationships. But before, when he had more space, I guess it like didn't matter that much.
Yeah.
Like my dad has a ton of stuff, but he has this huge like workshop now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like it doesn't matter, you know.
Mm.
And it's all like tools. He recently became interested in yogurt. He's always hated dairy products until about a year ago. He not just started drinking milk and sharing ice cream with me, but he's also found a love for yogurt. He now collects them, of course. The problem is they're perishable. So until earlier today, our 500 square foot studio contained about 2,100 cups of yogurt.
Oh, 2,000?
It comes in tons of varieties, different types, flavors, textures, containers, made by different companies in different countries. It's like crack to my boyfriend. So he tried to pretty much save a sample of everything he could find. He filled our fridge, bought a new fridge, and then another tiny bedside fridge. He said he didn't want to walk to the fridge at night, but it was obviously a ruse to get more yogurt space. These fridges all filled up with his yogurts, and if you keep them for too long, they smell bad. Sometimes the packaging breaks. So our apartment smells like rotten milk for the last 2 weeks, and my boyfriend's attitude was, oh, it's fine, and just deal with it for a little longer. What, until he eats 2,000 yogurts?
Yeah,
Like,
2,000 bad, stinky
What's the
yogurts.
end game? Yeah.
Yeah. Until I pulled the plug and I threw it all out this morning.
Good.
I was looking at my groceries, which I had to put in the side fridge because there was no space. Everything smelled like death. My boyfriend is understandably upset. I don't think it's that understandable.
Yeah.
No. He needs to look at his behavior.
Yeah.
We've been arguing about whether I crossed a line by throwing away his stuff, and he's especially upset because he had rare yogurts that were hard to find. In particular, he had some Cuban and Iranian yogurts that you can't get in the US, but I know we have trade sanctions against Iran and Cuba, so I don't know if it was even illegal for him to have them. Her argument now has to go to like, that's not legal though, so you got to get rid of them.
Also, like,
Instead of like, this is just ruining our lives.
Yeah. Also, where's he getting like illegal yogurt? Like,
Yeah.
is he going on the dark web and getting like Iranian yogurt? What the hell?
There's a yogurt black market?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
wild. Yo, meet me at the back of this wall bounce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She asked where he got his yogurt. He kept insisting the Iranian yogurt is not the issue here. And
Kinda
the real
sounds like it's the
issue,
issue.
Yo, that's a wild sentence, yo.
yeah, someone in the comments said something really funny. They were like, man, I don't know if I can find
There's
it.
certain times where, like, I feel like if you believe in God, God should be allowed to like flick you. Like, yo, what you saying, B? Like,
Yeah.
like that. When you say those words out loud, you as a person have to be like, there's no way that like in all the versions, all the metaverses there are of me, that they thought one of us would utter this sentence.
Yeah.
Like, that's so wild, yo. Like, what, how many things have to happen for that line to come out of my mouth?
The Iranian yogurt is not an issue here.
Yeah.
That's wild. As soon as you say that, there should be like a glitch. Like, yo, hold on, B. Like, that's not real.
Yeah, we should all realize we're in some...
Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
The Iranian yogurt is not the issue here. That's crazy talk. You know how wild, like, that sentence makes the same amount of sense completely out of context. None at all.
Yeah.
Saying it just right now, everyone will be equally confused as if you said it in the room. That's how wild that sentence is. That is insane talk, yo.
Yeah, there's no way to explain what would have led up to it.
Yeah.
You say that anywhere and people would need so much backstory.
Yes. Yeah.
The Iranian, and he said that with a straight,
in an argument. Like,
to get out of the argument.
Imagine being like heated with your partner and being like, the Iranian yogurt is not the issue here. Like, say it like dead ass. Just like yelling.
And that dude's gonna reproduce one day, yo.
I
There's gonna be kids that come from that man, yo.
I know.
That poor woman, yo, I don't know where you are, but sincerely, like, yo, bless you for making it. Like, that's crazy, yo. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
This is why we need to like continue to push Believe More Women as a campaign. Because this lady, she's talking about this to her friend. She's going to the internet because no one in her life believes her. Like, she said, like, yo, you know what he said to me? The Iranian yogurt is not the issue here. No one in her life believes that she said, like, yo, she is telling her friends, you know what this dude said to me? Nah, there's no way he said that. I'm telling you he said it.
Everyone around her is like, she's a little histrionic. Like, how could you, why would you say Iranian yogurt is not the issue if you're histrionic? Obviously something specific happened.
Yo, they think she's the crazy one. All her friends like, yo.
Totally,
Oh, that poor lady, yo, real talk, yo. I want to hug you. Like, I hope you're okay. Real talk, man. You deserve better than that, man.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, also, here's the thing. She said she let the stinky yogurt house go on for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Thousands of yogurts.
Where
is all her stuff?
There's also a lead up. There's no way one day there was 0 yogurt and the next day there was 2,000 yogurts. Mm-hmm. Like, she let this go for too long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is this guy doing? He spends all his time looking for rare yogurts.
Yeah.
He's just walking around the city, this big, expensive city.
Yeah.
Collecting yogurt.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of relationship is this?
I know. Yeah.
You know who doesn't have two? I can't think of a single supermarket display that would have 2,000 like Chobanis.
Totally.
No.
That takes up so much space.
Yeah.
When you buy when they have that like 10 for $1 sale.
Yeah.
Like, you empty out like a row.
Yeah.
When you cop it. Like, that's insane. And it takes up my whole shelf on the fridge.
Yeah.
Same.
2,000 is a wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
So much of this relationship too must be like trying to figure out like ingenuity, like for like apartment space.
I know,
you know? Like, they spend a lot of time on like YouTube, trying to figure out like smart storage spaces for small homes.
They're going to the Container Store every week.
Yeah.
Getting like new storage systems from IKEA and
all
shit.
of her stuff is just on these shelves above walls to make space for yogurt below.
Yeah, you know, the yogurt provides a weird amount of structural integrity, you know, to the storage containers.
You like pull their sheets back and their bed is just yogurts on a pallet.
They get a water bed and fill it with yogurt.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, that poor woman.
Yeah. I know.
That is bonkers. And the thing, that's what keeps her, because him solving it shows his weird genius.
Yeah. Maybe that's part of it.
He keeps showing just enough proof of like, yo, like, I'm brilliant as a person. I just have this weird thing.
Yeah.
And if you could look past that, everything else about me is great, you know?
Yeah.
God, that's so crazy.
Man.
Yeah, no, I think she should have thrown out that yogurt.
Nah.
That was crazy. But she also shouldn't have let it get to that point. Like, that's way too long to allow that. You know?
How good does a man have to be to, like, that not be a deal breaker?
Well, you're asking the wrong people.
You should see some of the people we put up with.
Yes.
We have a long history of bad decisions with men.
Yeah.
That's why we're friends.
Yes. Yeah, literally.
We've dated like all the same people in the past.
Yeah.
And now we're finally both in a good relationship and we're like, is this real?
Yeah. Yeah, we put up with so much worse for so much shittier of a guy.
Yeah.
Respect. This is going to be her story, just like that.
Yeah.
Next dude.
I dated a guy, we'll just talk about this quickly because we got to go, but it's just an example. I have a joke about it. I don't know if you heard it before, but he like would get mad at me because he knew the flag for every country, right? He knows all the flags. And then he'd be like thinking I wasn't good enough for him because I didn't know the flags. That's wild, right? He would get mad at me. He would test me on the flags if we saw one. We'd drive by one like every day because there's this neighborhood that would put up a new flag every day, like near us. And we drive by it. He'd be like, well, what's that one? And I just don't know them. I don't care that much about a flag. To me, it's like words that I don't know the definitions of. It's like, well, whatever. I don't need to know another symbol. Right?
Yeah.
That's...
And he would be pissed that I didn't know it.
Yo.
He was very insecure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
I will say, I do think it's cool that he knows exactly what he wants out of a partner.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Truly.
Like, this is a deal breaker. You got to know up front.
Yeah.
If you don't know these 50, you got a week. Figure it out.
We talked about this before, like how crazy it is for him to expect me to know them. He like would be mad almost as though I tricked him into thinking I was a flag girl.
Yeah.
And it turns out I wasn't.
That's all I would have been looking back on if I were you. Like, when did I express this? Was this in the swipe right
flags? First date, I'm just saying whatever I have to. I'm like, Oh,
like, I love flags.
I know the Cuban flag.
I love every flag. I love all of them. I know them very well.